Hello, I'm Greg Hunter. Thank you for joining us today on USAWatchdog.com. Gerald Celente, publisher of the Trends Journal, also at trendsjournal.com, joins us today. Gerald, good to have you back.
Well, thank you, Greg.
Well, Gerald, I mean, the world is going crazy, and I just want to start with the most recent thing. Kim Jong-un, in North Korea, threatening war and nuclear war and to attack our bases just last week. This is a hot topic. Chuck Hagel, the new Secretary of Defense, is up in arms about it. Everybody is a little worried. These guys are nuclear armed. What's your trend? What's your take?
I'd rather talk about gay marriage and gun control. I mean, that's all they talk about in America. Why bother with this? Anyway, my take is that the United States is provoking North Korea. They keep putting more and more sanctions on them. It's economic warfare. Yes, North Korea has a nuclear weapon. How many does Pakistan have? How many does India have? How many does the United States have? Hey, how many does the UK have? How many does France have? How many does Israel have? How many are out there? The United States is running war game drills all around the region. If anybody out there without attention deficit disorder may remember that the United States lost the Korean War back in the 50s. And General Dwight D. Eisenhower, who didn't want to sacrifice the slaughtering of our troops, ended the war. So what are they going to do? Get into another one? Does anybody in this country ever remember what this nation was based upon? Or have an inkling of what the Founding Fathers preached about not getting involved in foreign entanglements? The United States has had troops in South Korea now since when? The end of the Korean War in 1950s. We have no business being there. We have no business being in Iraq and Afghanistan. We have no business starting wars in Syria and Libya. We have no business starting a war in Vietnam, and it's just another losing war that's going to end up in weapons of mass destruction, annihilating millions if this madness is not stopped.
Are they doing this in part because they know the economy is unwinding? To your point, a week ago you said, hey, it's unwinding right in front of our eyes. It's collapsing in front of our eyes. Are they doing this because the powers that be knows the economy is going to crash, and so we're going to have war to kind of cover it over and make it look like somebody else caused it?
I don't think that's the case with Korea, with North Korea. I believe it'll be the case later on, but not right now. It'll be more economic wars, more wars with what's going on between China and Russia, something in that vein. North Korea, I mean, come on. You look at these pictures of this guy, under a lean-to with equipment out of the, 1960s. I mean, they could turn North Korea into glass within seconds. So they're not going to be striking anybody. But it's economic warfare. The United States is also waging it against Iran with sanctions. It's none of our business. And by the way, if anybody out there says it is our business, my suggestion to you is pack up your gear, take your wife, your kids, and yourself, and go lead the charge. Go fight the Koreans. Oh, you don't want to do that? Then go send your money. Because I'm sick of this crap. They just lost the Iraq War. They just celebrated the 10th anniversary. Hey, I didn't see any victory parades. When I was a kid growing up, I used to see victory parades all the time for commemorating World War II. Hey, what a great job the losers in the military did with Afghanistan. Oh, you remember that guy, Stanley McChrystal Meth, the guy that's teaching leadership courses now, that was running the Afghan war? Oh, you remember what he said. The troops surge, the troops surge. That's right, all you liberals out there that love Obama, who sent 33,000 more troops there to sacrifice their lives for nothing. And what happened? Oh, I remember Stanley McChrystal Meth saying As goes Kandahar, so goes Afghanistan. Bye-bye Kandahar, bye-bye Afghanistan. Why would any thinking adult put their trust in the American military industrial complex when all they have done is what General Dwight D. Eisenhower warned? They would rob us of the genius of our scientists, the sweat of our laborers, and the future of our children. And they're at it again. The American military has not won a war since World War II. And now they're gonna do another one. Yeah, B-2s all over the Korean Peninsula. Wonderful. And let's not forget to provoke the Chinese while we're at it.
Well, let's talk about Cyprus and not just Cyprus, but the spreading contagion. Everybody's worried about it. People like Jim Rogers says he's worried about bank confiscations of deposits, or confiscation of bank deposits, I should say. And just something I called the FDIC, and I've been harping on this just last week, and asked them what are the amount of deposits. Went through line by line. $10.8 trillion in deposits at the FDIC. $33 billion in the insurance fund, $10.8 trillion in deposits, $33 billion in insurance fund, and they were quick to point out, we have a $100 billion line of credit to the Treasury. Let's get right over to brass tacks. Is this going to spread in your mind from Cyprus to Europe, right over to the United States?
Greg, I'm going to send you a link to one of our quick videos we put together. I've been talking about a bank holiday now for a year and a half. It's nothing new. Of course it is. They just stole the money from the Cypriot people. And the way the prostitutes made it in the United States again, hey, it's them Russian oligarchs, I tell you. Yeah, they were money laundering. Yeah, not like they're doing in the Cayman Islands. Hey, that's different. Different than Switzerland or Monaco. No. This is Eastern Europeans. They're not taking the hit. The people are. You know the controls that they've put on. You can't leave the joint with $1,000, or thereabouts. You could take $300 out every couple of weeks. Hey, I got one for you. We're not going to cash any checks, but you can deposit them. And they love the language that they use. They call it haircuts. Why, I just got one. Oh, and how about this one? A tax on deposits. Could any adult say stealing your money? We're in the Easter season. I know it may offend a lot of people out there if I mention the word Jesus Christ during Easter, but I'll take that risk. Think about it. The only time that Jesus Christ, the Prince of Peace, becomes violent is when he picks up a whip to chase the money changers out of the temple. 1,800 years later, and by the way, here's a cover from our Trends Journal in the summer of 2012. Jesus Christ chasing out the J.P. Morgan Chase, the Dexias, the Credit Suisse, and the Goldman Sachs gang among them. 1,800 years later, James Madison, a founding father, President of the United States, history records that the money changers have used every form of abuse, intrigue, deceit, and violent means possible to maintain their control over governments by controlling money and its issuance. Nothing has changed. When are the people going to grow up, stand up, and rise up? Who made this up that we have to protect the money changers? Do you know what I think? I think it was the money changers who crucified Christ, because he chased them out of the temple more than once. It's the money changers that are destroying this planet. It was the money changers that made the Prince of Peace become violent. What more proof does anyone need? It is right in front of our eyes, and the people bow down to them. It's a disgrace.
How do people protect themselves? I mean, do people just go to the banks, take their money out? Do people go buy real estate, go buy gold, go buy diamonds, go buy farmland? I mean, what are people going to wake up to that? They got this huge amount of deposits and a little bit of, no insurance commissioner in any state would allow anybody to write insurance with $33 to cover $10,800 worth of risk. That's what it means. 33 billion, 10.8 trillion in deposits. Nobody would allow anybody to write an insurance on homeowners, a car policy. Nobody would. I mean, what do people need to do to protect themselves?
They would in a fascist nation. And that's what this is, the merger of state and corporate powers. It's a takeover. It's fascism. So they'll allow you to do anything they want. You know that there's, in Cyprus, the Eurozone, the ECB, guarantees it to 100,000 euros. And they were trying to, and they're screwing the people now. Not only the people over 100,000, they're losing 40% of their dough or more. They may lose all of it. I will not tell people what to do. My motto is think for yourself. Here's what I do. Number one, why would you keep a lot of money in the bank when they're not giving you anything back on it? That's number one. Number two, speaking for myself only, I do not give financial advice, and I don't care what you do. I buy gold and silver. Have been for years on record. People could go to our website, trendsjournal.com, and there you'll see in 2002 me calling the bottom of the gold market when gold was selling at $275 an ounce in the Trends Journal.
And I mean, interrupt you real quick. What do you say to people that say, well, you know, the price is, you know, not going anywhere. It was 1900 and it's down, and silver was 50 and now it's 28 or something. What do you say to people like that?
What I say to them, hey, suppose you lived in Cyprus right now, Junior. Suppose you can't get your money out of the bank, Junior. Suppose they just screwed you, Junior, and you're hungry, or you need medicine, or you need fuel. You'd like a couple of pieces of silver or gold in your hand? You think that would buy you anything, Junior?
Gotcha. Okay, continue with your list.
So, also, real estate. As you know, I live in colonial Kingston, New York, 2 hours north of New York City. I've just bought 3 buildings on the most historic corner in the U.S., the only place where there's pre-revolutionary stone buildings on each corner. I'm buying them to restore them, and because I believe in America, and it had its roots of the revolution here, and I would like to see a second American Revolution. But one of the heart, the spirit, and the mind, not guns and armies. So I'm buying that as a hedge against my gold. So if gold or silver continue to go down, then the real estate prices will go up. Vice versa. So that's what I'm doing. I have hard assets only. And again, I'm buying a 1750s, a 1774, and a 1768 building. So to me, I'm buying art as well.
In your last time you were on, you said the world was heading towards war, and it sure looks like we're inching towards war. What is your clock? Where's your timing of when we'll be in some sort of regional or world war?
It's very hard to put a time limit on it, a time point. You know, when are the psychopaths and sociopaths going to do the next stupid thing? That's all this is. That's all they are. Look at these people. Name them. Cameron? Could that guy fight? He couldn't fight his way out of a paper bag. Hollandaise? Yeah, I could give you the next word, but, you know, this is a family show. What could this guy fight? Obama? Oh, yeah, he's rough on the basketball court. You got a bunch of chicken hawks, psychopaths, and sociopaths that are leading the world to war. And so unless the people stand up and make a stand, what's going on in Italy, by the way, Beppe Grillo's 5-star movement, That to me is a model. It's a movement. It's not a protest. Protests are what they do in Tunisia and Egypt, and all they do is result in a new boss replacing the old boss. We need a new way. We have to break up the old systems. Anybody with half a brain and the other half still alive from not taking prescription drugs to, chill them out, knows that the government is being controlled by a mafia. No, not the Gambinos or the Bananos, not the Jewish mafia, the Russian mafia, or the or any other mafia, the Japanese mafia. This is a mafia of money changers in the military. All the politicians are just the wise guys, They're the mouthpieces for the capo di capos. And all the soldiers out there, the police and the paramilitary, they're no more than goon squads working for the wise guys. They know who their bosses are. It's a takeover. So unless the people want to remain in servitude, work very hard to give everything that they have to them, that's the way it's going to continue. But when the people start speaking up, rising up, and saying, I had enough of your crap, get out of here, I want to bring really democracy back to this country. Look, Greg, what kind of country is the United States? When people have worked all their lives, and now are losing their homes, not only because of the foreclosures, but even worse than that. They can't pay property and school taxes, so you're stealing their homes. What would Jesus say?
Well, Gerald Celente, in closing, what about this ammunition buy? Now congressmen are actually asking Homeland Security and Janet Napolitano, hey, what's up with buying millions of rounds of ammunition? What's up with these armored vehicles? This is a real story of the vernacular. It was out in the fringes of the internet. Now congressmen are asking Napolitano, what's up with all the ammunition buys, the hollow point ammunition that they say they're using for target practice, which is tremendously wasteful if they're doing that.
Again, that this question is being asked is an atrocity against what this country was built upon and what it was founded on and what the people fought for freedom for. That we're even having this discussion shows you how fascist it has turned. And that they even have to ask her, how about asking, Goebbels or Himmler or Hitler or Mussolini? That's what's going on. So that even that we're discussing this as a question shows the outrage of what we've become in this country. Again, this is Easter time. I don't mean this is a religious issue, but whether it's the Jews with the Passover or the Christians with the crucifixion, how much more of history has to be repeated before we see it's repeating itself again?
Gerald Celente, publisher of the Trends Journal. Thank you for being on USA Watchdog, and happy Easter to you, my friend.
Thank you. Same to you. Buona Pasqua.